Your Minnesota Vikings are 14-2 and have a shot at the 1 seed after sweeping the Green Bay Packers at US Bank Stadium. Let's talk about it.
Shit just got real. Let's get in the video.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us here on the 14th Victory Monday live stream here on GG Sports Podcast. Obviously, a big W. The score does not indicate how big of an ass kicking this was for about 3.5 quarters of football. 27-25 was the final score. Yes, the Packers did make it a little bit interesting at the end. Jamie, by the way, I love your shirt. The Packers did make it very interesting at the end, but at the end of the day, the Vikings got aggressive enough on offense at the end to finish it out. And that's that's kind of like when I look at this game, for the first 3.5 quarters, this felt like the team we saw the first month of the season. The offense was efficient, moving the football. We were scoring. Yes, we had some issues in the kicking game, which did make things a little more interesting than they should have been. But the offense looked efficient and effective all day long. And this defense looked like the defense we saw in the first month of the season. We were absolutely dominating those teams that we were worried about in that first stretch. So that is what I need. That is what we need to see going forward. Now, again, I understand with the way that we like to do things on offense and defense. We got a little cute and conservative mid-fourth quarter, but at the end of the day, Kevin O'Connell trusted Sam Darnold to get the job done, and Sam Darnold did, in fact, get the job done. And here we are going into next week. Biggest regular season Vikings game in my memory. How about yours?
Dude, I'm going to say, I'm speaking for everybody before my time. I'm going to say this is the biggest regular season game in NFL history. I mean, unless someone can come to me and tell me that there's been a game bigger than two in-division rivals fighting for the number 1 seed on the last game of the year, I don't even know how it even gets. Like, what scenario is even bigger than that? I can't even think of one. Like, if anything, it would just be a tie, in my opinion. But no, this one's going to be huge. But it all started with, I would say it's hard because, again, it's just like the first Packer game. Like, we whooped on the Packers, ended up letting it get too close, which is annoying. Too evil. Hey, thank you, my guy. Hide your sisters, hide your wives. EBD. Wait. Ebs is on the. What is that?
He said it. He said it in a comment earlier. Even bigger Dick Darnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, like even bigger Dick Darnold. Oh, okay. I see it. I should have probably finished
right there. If you just kept reading.
Yeah, it's literally right there.
I kept reading.
I stopped that. You stopped me at EBDDs. Yeah. Speaking of that, Darnold, obviously, we're gonna get into more here. But man, I'm definitely like, hey, you're gonna have to pry the idea of JJ McCarthy being our starter next year. You're going to have to pry that out of my mindset, and I'm going to have to see some big games and playoffs to even consider that, in my opinion. But at this point, it does feel like Sam Darnold really is the real deal, at least to this point. So, I mean, there's going to be some tough decisions to make. But my boy JJ McCarthy is still the future of the Vikings, in my opinion. And this is one of my favorite cards of his. So get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Smokey, my boy, I see you. Fuck the Packers. They got what they deserved. Also, Jamie, this is confirmed historic game number 13 teams have played for the division ever. This is confirmed historic game number 13. No 13 win teams have played for the division ever. Not just the division, for the entire conference. That's even a step bigger than that. And Smokey, I disappointed you again, my guy. I know we need to make a comeback here. I needed you last time to save my ass. But anyways, let me hit up some other people in the comments because we had two toned in here right away. Skol number 1 seed. Here we come. My guy Barber in the building. Skol 14-2, about to be 15-2. Facts. George Blunt, lots of Kitty fans in my hood today for the Niners game. Hope Bosa plays and peace on Goff. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. Like, I need to ask everybody a question here. Do you guys, for my fantasy team, do you guys think that they're going to be playing their starters for like the entire game? Because I have Gibbs, and they're going to play him for at least some of it, but I don't know. That's worrying me a little bit. Let me know what y'all think on that. Gary, my dude, 14-2. Let's get it. 18-2. Bob Swede has been holding it tight since the Rams game. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Who else am I missing in here? I already said Too Evil with the EBDDDSs. Bleeding Purple in the building. Hey, everyone. Skol, 14-2. Let's go. I feel like I know. So Lee, there he is. What's up, guys? Rogers in the building. What's up? What's up? Kinetic. What up, guys? Hashtag Skol. Hashtag Go Blue. JJ to JJ. Yes, he's. I mean, I know he's gonna be the JJ believing until he's died or dead
What's
too.
going on, Darren? Will the Thrill did in fact have a subpar game. Yeah, firmly believe he'll bounce back. We'll talk. I mean, obviously, we'll talk about him.
We'll get into it. Hey, Delton, my dude in the building. Let's go. This is the most important game in the NFL regular season. Yeah, no debates. Yeah, facts. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a massive deal. FT Maddie in the building. Hey, everyone, Skol. All right, Jamie, I got my JJ card. Thanks, bro. Yeah. And I'll have some more on the way. Kinetic, I hit you up on yours. Coming from someone who lives in Michigan, I'd be very surprised if Dan Campbell doesn't play the starters. Yeah, last year, they didn't have anything to play for, and they were starting their starters in the week 18, I thought, if I remember that correctly. But anyways, I mean, just back to this game, I guess. I mean, overall, hey, a W is a W. Of course, in our fashion, we had to let it get closer than it needed to be. We're getting into some of these players here or coaches and stuff in a bit here. But I mean, I guess my only gripe from that standpoint at the end was Kevin O'Connell. I do think, they ran the ball. We're in the red zone. Obviously, you feel pretty confident at that point. But I said this yesterday on Bleacher Report, we always need one more touchdown. Like, play like we always need one more touchdown than what you think. Because with Ty Chandler on that drive, we ran him all the way down, which he did pretty solid for the most of that drive. But then in the red zone, he gets tackled for a loss of 3 yards. It's 2nd and 13, and then we decide to run again, which we need to get the run game going. But knowing Kevin O'Connell, he's never going to run the ball in 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13 in the red zone. So, he was kind of pulling off the gas a little bit there. And this is a situation I'm like, you need to just go score touchdowns. Just play your game until you're up so much that it's literally impossible for them to come back on you. And ultimately, Will Reichard, we had a shot with him kicking a field goal. He misses that. And then, our defense didn't hold up for like 2 straight drives. Whatever. Ends up winning. That was my one gripe there. Obviously, the gripe on Brian Flores kind of playing soft in these games when it comes down to not allowing comebacks.
Yeah, and I think I saw. I think was it Swede who mentioned it up here, and I agree. Me and my dad had pointed out during the game as well. Just like on that last drive, we rushed 3, where we've been being pretty pressure heavy all day long. We rushed 3, dropped more people back in coverage, and yet somehow Tucker Kraft was still wide open. Like, I just don't understand that type of defensive play calling in that spot. I mean, I get it. You don't want the big play, but sometimes I'd rather see play or tight, tough defense. And if the big play happens, the big play happens. I mean, at the end of the day, did it work? Yes, because we were able to, have enough plays to run the clock out. So at the end of the day, yes, it did work on defense, and yes, on offense, it would have been nice to see one more. Just go for the kill shot instead of go for the potential lead extension, which could still end up going back to bite you later on. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, we did what we had to do on defense. We got this. We allowed him, we allowed him some points, whatever. But at the end of the day, O'Connell got aggressive. 2 rollouts to 2 guys who are underappreciated sometimes. In CJ Ham on the first one for a first down, who smartly got down, stay in bounds, and kept the clock moving. Yeah. And then Darnold, even not Darnold's best throw, but Akers able to adjust to that, bring that ball in, had a touchdown and a huge catch on that drive. Kind of instead of Aaron Jones, who was a little bit dinged up, but it sounds like he will be good to go this week.
Hey, big Raylan.
Yeah, really, really, really cool to see Cam Akers step up and honestly be the one that sealed that game. So, look, you can't. But we're at that's the thing. We expect so much out of this team, and we think that they're so damn good. Before I'll finish that thought after Smokey. I have request all Minnesota
fans. God dang, bro.
Lions.
Appreciate
He's responsible for 3 dirty hits on Hawkinson, Stafford, Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft, by the way, dirty hit in his own right yesterday. Harrison Smith called for an absolute BS penalty for going low.
I know.
Tucker Kraft did not. I want to know what's up with that. 100% think they try and hurt JJ. I hope not. I really hope not. But we do appreciate the $49.99, my man. Thank you so much for dropping that. Where was I? Where was I? I totally forgot where I was. Talking about Darnold winning the game, the throw to Akers, who had the nice adjustment. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't remember exactly where you're
either way, it's good to see in that moment O'Connell trusted his guys to go make the play, and they went and they got things done. So
100%.
No,
man, good game.
That's what it was. But like, yeah, you just can't be like, no matter what, you could have played better. It is what it is. It's like we're expecting so much out of this team that when they're not perfect, we kind of be like, oh, what are we doing? This is ridiculous. And that was one of them. The other one, the Darnold interception wasn't good. He had about 4 throws that were a little bit high and a little bit off that really could have extended drives and been the dagger throws. He did miss a couple, but at the end of the day, how can you complain with the stat line that he put up? So it's like it's almost at the point where just that we're expecting so much out of the team. We think they're so good that if they don't hit on every single play, we get a little bit frustrated. And it's a mindset you can't have, because this team is overperforming expectations, and they're so. I mean, was it a little bit middle of the season was a little rocky, sure, but overall this team is just so much fun to watch.
And the big thing is just like they step up when they need to. That's like the biggest thing. And I've said it before. That's the difference between a playoff team and not a playoff team, is which team can step up when it matters the most. And we've done it all year long. Yes, we let it get closer than it needs to be, but we win those games every time. And at the end of the day, we swept the Packers. The first time we've swept the Packers since 2017. And I mean, we had at least 4 quarters this year of Viking Packer football where we absolutely dominated them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least we got that on top of obviously the sweep. So, hey, that's great. But keep on going here. I wanted to jump into some stats here and then kind of go into some PFF stuff. And then we'll go into our studs and duds of this game. We'll start with we'll start with them. Holding Jordan Love to 185 yards, 1 touchdown. Really almost could have been an interception or 2 in this one. We did hold Jordan Love to like less than 100 yards up until those last couple drives. Our defense was just on for 3 quarters in this game. Probably the best 3 quarters from our defense this year. Great job there. Josh Jacobs. We held him in check for the most part. A lot of teams couldn't really do that. 17 attempts, 69 yards, 4.1 average, and a touchdown. And then from a receiving standpoint, they were using Dobbs a lot. Otherwise, we locked up a lot of guys. Jaden Reed really couldn't get anywhere on us. And then on the others, just talking about our offensive line, we allowed 1 sack in this game. So that was also pretty big for us there. And then on our side of the ball, Sam Darnold, 33 for 43, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interceptions. And I think is he tied with the most 100 or higher quarterback rating in history? I believe I saw that.
So. Yeah.
With Aaron Rodgers in 2020. Yep. So he has one more game to kind of beat that. He has a chance. So that's huge. Obviously, that's super huge.
Either that, or he might be 1 shy of Aaron Rodgers 14. I think that might be what it was.
Maybe
1 shy of tying Aaron Rodgers for 14. Yeah.
Okay. Keep it on rolling here though. You had Aaron Jones, 12 attempts, 47 yards, 3.9. The run game we were using it early, kind of went away from it. Obviously, Aaron Jones had his injury. That sounds like everything's going to be good there, so that's big for us. Wide receiver, spreading this ball around a lot. Justin Jefferson, 8 receptions, 92 yards, including that insane catch that ended up being called back. Hey, Jordan Love. Thank you, Smokey. Jordan Love, biggest flaw is the Kirk flaw. Only gets hot while down. He's overrated. Quarterback, only thing okay with Love is maybe completion percentage that game. Yeah, he was missing a lot of open. They paid too much. I don't know. That's good. We deserve them to have not a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers caliber quarterback. Keep it on going here. Naylor, 5 receptions, 81 yards, a touchdown. You got Jordan Addison, tutty, 69 yards. Cam Akers, obviously, scored a touchdown, big catch at the end there. And then we had 1.5 sacks from Cashman, a half a sack from Van Ginkel, and a sack from Dallas Turner, who has 2 sacks in his last 3 games, including an interception there as well. And Andrew Van Ginkel sitting there with 11.5 sacks on the season, which is absolutely massive. Kind of going into some PFF stuff right here as well. Starting with our offense. Johnny Munt, only a couple plays, but the highest here, 88.5. Jalen Naylor had fantastic game, 78.6. Reisner, 75.9. Justin Jefferson, 75.8. Cam Robinson, 74.1. And then Jordan Addison, 72.5.
Cam Robinson might have had the 74.1, but the hold that wiped out the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life, can't have it.
Yeah. That one
dropped out of the top 5 for that reason only.
Just that.
But other than that, he's played really well for us this year.
On the bottom, a guy who's usually here every week, Garrett Bradbury, Ty Chandler, Blake Brano, Trent Fairfield, and Josh Oliver. I'm sitting at the bottom here. And then going to defense. Let's see. Going to defense, we've got Harrison Phillips at the top with 80.5. You got Blake Cashman, who looked great, 79.5 with a run defense of 84.1. Jonathan Grenard, 71.1. Cam Bynum, 68.2. Harrison Smith is 65.8. And then coming from the bottom, Jerry Tillery, I'm surprised. Like, you think if you force a fumble, that's worth at least like 50 points by itself. But I guess PFF doesn't count that as many points as I would. He's at the bottom here, Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, Gilmore's kind of been, things have been a little bit rough for him of lately. Griffin, 45.9. What I don't agree with is Ivan Pace Jr. I don't know, just watching, I didn't really see any bad plays from him, but I really did see the impact he makes for this defense. So I would say I disagree with that one. And then Jonathan Bullard down here as well.
And then I do see Pat Jones on there. Kevin O'Connell did say today that they got some good news regarding the injury. Sounds like he may not be out as long as people were expecting. So good news there on the injury front. And he's also, like I said, Aaron Jones is going to be good to go as well. Another $9.99 from Young Smokey, of course. Thank you so much, man. Bradbury's so bad. I hope they cut him or trade him. If I was crazy, I'd straight up tell him you suck, kid. Just
my opinion.
Yeah, he's had more bad plays.
Appreciate you, year,
for sure. Man.
Hey, Yogi in the building, my guy. Let's go.
But I also did want to point out kind of what you were saying about Ivan Pace, and you did notice his impact there, especially in the run game. I think he may have had an early pressure as well, so you definitely noticed him being back there. And Dallas Turner, I did want to shout him out again as well. I mean, ever since the Falcons game, he's had a big play every game, including that one. So he's really coming around, kind of coming into his own. So
is it this kind of season? Except for we make it to the big one this time.
We make it there and we win.
Yeah, we make it there and we win. Hopefully. Man, I don't know, man. This is so exciting. It's so exciting. Like, who would have thought coming into this season? Nobody. I would just say that. Nobody thought. But sweeping the Packers 14-2 and going into this massive game with the Lions, man. So exciting. But we'll talk more. We'll be able to talk about that all week. Continue with this game with our winners and losers, starting with our losers after a W. And unfortunately, we were really close to not even having one dud on this squad for this one, but we had to do it, even though it hurts my soul a little bit. And that is and $4.99. I haven't played like Cashman affects more like box score. They are monsters like Van Ginkel. Yeah, facts. I mean, they're everywhere, and they're putting their all just unlimited engine motors by those guys. But anyways, Will Reichard, 1 for 3 on field goals. Misses the 57 one.
2 for 4, I think.
Was that what it was? 2 for 4.
2 for 4. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, wait, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 2 for 4.
I mean, he had to kick the one at halftime 3 times, but eventually he did make it from 50.
Yeah. Yeah, which obviously that was good, but like you said, like dude had an off day. Misses at 57, was just short, was perfect accuracy. But we've seen him hit a 58, so we know we've seen him hit a 58, and we're like that could have went for a 65. So we know he has the leg to do it. That one went short. The next one, he misses it the first time, gets a couple tries and ends up ultimately making it, and then misses that last one. Hits all his extra points, but just a rough day by our boy Will the Thrill, I guess. I mean, I feel I'm not too worried about it. You don't want him to just have one of these bad games. You need to be consistent in the NFL. That was like my whole thing with Kirk Cousins, and that goes for kickers especially. You don't want to have an off day. If you have an off day in the playoffs, like that could lose the game. So hopefully we see a bounce back from Will Reichard.
And I mean, and playing for Saban in Alabama, he still has the headspace for it, right? And I do think that there is something to this because I mean,
hey,
yes, like the first one perfectly straight. Just I mean, just inches short or a couple feet short to hit off the crossbar. And then the other two, you did notice he did. I think he pulled one, then he pushed one. He did doink that one off the upright. And then he also had the weird kickoff thing where he didn't get into the landing zone. I don't know if that was planned, if they were going to try to get him to return it, or if maybe just a miss hit. So I do think that there might be a little bit of truth to that maybe that quad injury is still bothering him a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. But I trust that if he is able to get healthy, or if he is whatever the health issue is, or maybe it was just an off day, who knows? I do trust his mental ability to get over it and get back to being the assassin that we knew that he was beforehand. Like I said, having to play for Alabama and a coach like Saban, like we know he has it in him. We've seen it all. He's going to be just fine. He's got to hope that he's healthy.
Yeah. And we'll find out. I mean, this is going to be a big game. So, I mean, it sucks because we were at a time with Will Riker where it was like, hey, we're not even nervous now. He's going to make everything. I do think going into this Lions game, we're probably going to hold our breath a little bit on that first kick, field goal, if it even comes down to it. I'm assuming we'll just be scoring touchdowns all day, but
gonna have to.
Probably we are. This is going to be one of those games. Keep it on rolling, though, because that's the only loser. Yeah.
I was incredibly close on my score prediction. What did I say? 31-28? Ended up being a 3-point game, or less than a 3-point game. So I was very close on that. I
think I did 34-28. So I was a little bit. I mean, it should have been that.
Yeah.
Keep it on rolling here, though. To our studs, starting with a defensive player. My one defensive player I put on this list, and we can just talk about defense in general here. I don't know why it's not popping up.
I see it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason it's not on. Oh, there it is. Blake Cashman. I brought it up earlier. Actually, let me bring up his stats. Did I even go? So he had 11 total tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1.5 sacks. Also ended up having the second highest PFF grade on our squad. He was everywhere in this game. Him and Andrew Van Ginkel ended up getting that 1 sack. That was really nice. Just in general for this defense, because I kind of picked him specifically, but again, like I mentioned earlier, this defense was one of the best performances we've seen all year through the first 3 quarters, outside of those last couple drives where they were able to kind of do what every other team's been doing lately and march down the field on us. And I mean, that is the only thing. Otherwise, I would have had Flores on here probably and just said the defense as a whole. But again, it wasn't a perfect thing. I was 27-24 down, 2-point conversion. Dang, that was close. I know we never think of adding 2-point conversions into score predictions. But yeah, what's your thoughts on Blake Cashman and just the defense in general in this one?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, this reminded me of the defense that we saw the first month of the season. With another, Smokey, you're too kind. The 2 words I have about this one, this game is one, we must force Goff to have incompletions. He had no incompletions last game or less, and then my next 4 is Gibbs. That's it. Yeah, those 2 are definitely going to be, those 2 and Amon-Ra St. Brown are kind of what make them go. Then, of course, J-Mo being their deep shot guy, you got to make sure he doesn't beat you, which he's been doing that a lot this year. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this defense was the best iteration of this defense we've seen since the first month. And Blake Cashman's a big reason because of that. I mean, obviously Minnesota born, former Gopher. That's obviously number 1. And the number 2, of course, is the 2 games that we lost this year were the only 2 games he didn't play. We were 14-0 when Cashman plays. He's the secret sauce to this defense. We love Ivan Pace, but Cashman came in, got the green dot, runs the defense, calls the checks. And he's just a smart football player who just flashes all over the place. And I guess another guy you could point out, Jalen Redmond did have a nice stop early on in that game against Jacobs. And then he got called for the BS encroachment penalty, which is what it is there. But refs will ref, I guess. But yeah, no, Blake Cashman, though, absolute stud. And he just proves to be. I mean, again, everyone talks about Van Ginkel. Everyone talks about Grenard. We do talk about Cashman, but I do feel like out of the 3, he's the one who gets talked about the least. But his impact is just as big as those other guys in different ways.
Yeah, 100%, man. Absolute stud. I mean, again, we talk about at least one of these guys every single week, if not all of them or a couple of them at a time. And again, big games from all 3. Bring in the pressure. Grenard, I know Grenard had, I think he hit Love in that arm one of the times. He was getting there close a lot in that one. Jamie, I'm not from Minnesota, so how many players have the Vikings drafted from the Gophers? I know Cashman plus Thielen. Thielen was played for Mankato, actually. Cheryl's.
We haven't drafted. I don't think we've drafted.
Sherrills was undrafted. Yeah, Sherrills was undrafted.
And honestly, probably one of the best punt returners we've seen on this team since I've been watching. We haven't had anyone close to him since then.
Yeah, facts.
Well, I mean,
otherwise, and anyone else in that probably definitely knows.
Yeah, and there may not be another one, but in 3 years, or 2 years, there will be one Coy Parich who joins the Vikings as a first-round pick safety, and that's going to happen. But yeah.
Hey, what up, Justin?
I wouldn't mind if we grab Daniel Jackson either. That'd be cool. He's been solid this year.
I know we should have got Winfield Jr., but
yeah, that'd have been.
It's all good.
That'd have been huge.
That'd been good. But keeping on going here. And I got to bring the guy who heads the whole thing, Kevin O'Connell, your coach of the year, easily at this point. I'm sure I haven't checked like the odds or whatever, but it's got to be insanely in favor for him. A 6.5 prediction team from based on Vegas odds, and now we're sitting here 14-2 and about to fight the Lions for the number 1 seed. And in this game, and I said this on Bleacher Report, I think this is arguably the best play calling I've seen from Kevin O'Connell in a game, maybe throughout his coaching career for the Viking head coaching career. I thought there was multiple plays in this one that was perfect, including that Jordan Addison play. At that point, you felt like he probably should have ran there. I'm not even a big run guy, just because Mike Zimmer kind of ruined it for me. But like, I was like, all right, it's time to run, and he calls the play action, has Darnold looking left, bringing all the getting all the defensive players looking in that direction, and then just throwing that perfect pass to Jordan Addison, and just multiple plays like that from Kevin O'Connell this year. I mean, even the Cam Akers, the final play of the game. I mean, what a perfect play call. Cam Akers didn't have a single person around him. It almost would have been a better throw if he had someone around him. I think it was just too easy of a throw there, but just perfectly. I mean, other than that one, like I said, Ty Chandler, them running twice in a row in the red zone where I'm like, you just get the dagger here. Outside of that one play, I thought Kevin O'Connell play calling was absolutely great in this one. But what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And it's just, again, we keep getting these one-score games, and what's going on, Nick? And the big thing that comes down to these one-score games is being well-prepared, well-coached, and just the belief that you're going to make enough plays to win. And that, look, I mean, I know we all think of Kevin O'Connell as the offensive guy first because he is obviously the quarterback whisperer, the offensive play caller, and obviously that's what you see on the field, and that's what people are going to know him for. But just the underappreciated thing is just the leadership and just being a good coach, managing all the egos, making sure that your team is together and your team is together, and that 1-0 every week mindset, which I know gets kind of it's turned into kind of a meme at this point and all the press conferences and everything. But
yeah,
like just when everything's out in front of you and your team's overperforming or overperforming national media expectations, and the fact that he keeps these guys heads level and their eyes set on that next game and not listening to the media, not hyping yourself up, not taking anybody too lightly. It's just he keeps the guys heads on straight, keeps them focused, and they just keep finding ways to win. And that, look, you need to have the players to do it, obviously, but that all comes down to coaching and just instilling the mindset in your guys that you believe in them and you believe that they're going to go get the win. And that's what Kevin O'Connell does. And just look, he said it after the Jacksonville game, people didn't really believe him when he said, like, I am aggressive with Darnold because I trust him so much. And the fact that instead of, like you said, running on that last drive 2 times, roll out and throw the ball to CJ Ham and your backup running back in gotta have it situations, and trusting that your players are going to be well coached and smart enough to get down and bounce and keep that clock running. Just what we've seen this year is a masterful coaching job by Kevin O'Connell. And you don't, and it's not like one of those 1-year wonder coaching jobs where it pops up and you're like, who knows if he's going to be able to replicate this. He's done this 3 years in a row now. Now, like last year, yes, he had all the issues with the quarterback play. That's going to be a part of it. And I know there's, people had concerns with his play calling last year, early this year, but I don't know, man. He's proved it 3 years in a row that he just knows how to coach. I don't know. Like you said, unquestioned coach of the year. He might have a couple of these coming, man. I feel like this is a guy that's going to win us multiple Super Bowls. I really, really do believe that. Like, we all thought Zimmer could have been that guy, but I don't know, man. Kevin O'Connell just has that secret sauce. He knows how to get guys motivated, and just like he's the ultimate player's coach that's not too soft. Like he expects so much out of his guys, and just you can just tell how much love they have for him, and he reciprocates the love for his players.
Hey man, his leadership skills are insane.
Right, and I get it. Like people were, I mean, I think when we passed on Harbaugh, Mike Florio said like, "Oh, this isn't an exciting hire." Well, I bet you he's regretting those words now because that was the right move. Like, look, Harbaugh is great in his own right, but getting the young offensive-minded head coach in Kevin O'Connell was 100% the right move. So, love what I've seen from Kevin O'Connell this year.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's been a fan since we hired the guy.
Yeah, and hopefully those rumors of him getting an extension soon is true, which he's getting one no matter what. I don't think that's even a question. Kwesi's going to get one. I don't care what anybody says about his drafting, because what he's done with this team is absolutely insane, starting with the hire of Kevin O'Connell.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like, and I think people try to shortchange it. Like, oh, anyone can just cut players and turn around a salary cap. Oh, anyone can just, he screwed up his draft. Anyone can let Jordan Addison just fall into your lap, right? Anyone can cut failed draft picks. Anyone can get lucky with signing a quarterback. Anyone can, he traded all those picks to get a quarterback. Anyone can do something like that. I think that there's just people out there that aren't going to like Kwesi because of that first draft, or aren't going to like him because he's different. He's a math guy. He's not a football, not a former football player, not a former scout, none of that type of stuff. And I feel like people want to continuously shortchange what he has done for this team. And and some of these, like moving on from Kirk Cousins, like anyone can move on from an old quarterback coming off an injury. That's a tough move to make, right? Like you're going off a guy who was successful for you at times. Like he's made some tough decisions, and even he's made tough decisions on his own mistakes. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just your GM kind of leads the charge from top down, and ownership took a chance on a non-football guy, and it's working. Like what we've done is as large part Kwesi as it is anybody else. And yes, does he need to get better at drafting? Sure. But everything else he's been amazing at. So give the guy his flowers. Stop, hating on Kwesi. Quit being the guy on Twitter, the let Kwesi cook guy, because everything he does is terrible. It's just, he's doing just fine. He's got this team where they are now, and he's a huge reason for it.
Yeah. And I see the hashtag Skols. We're giving away one of my favorite JJ McCarthy cards, the Gridiron. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. All that good stuff. Get it in. But let's keep on rolling here.
So, Kevin O'Connell, we all know for sure that he gets an extension after the season. But how about our next guy? And that is quarterback.
Oh, man, you brought the conversation up, not me.
Quarterback Sammy freaking Darnold. Because I want to bring that up because, look, that post-game moment last night,
How about
before we get into that, we got to jump into Smokey here with $49.99. If I was the Wolves, I would pull out $20 million as a raise incentive for Flores with the stipulation of no head coaching job interviews for 3 years. He's blackballed, in my opinion. Thank you so much for the $49.99. And I agree. He definitely, I bet he will get some looks. We'll see how the lawsuit does affect him. And Skol Mafia, appreciate the love, man, dropping in that extra $4.99 for us. We really
thank you, Skol Mafia. Thank you, man. You guys are crazy sometimes.
But that post-game locker room moment yesterday.
Yeah, no, I'm going to find it.
I've been a fan of this. And look, I haven't been a lifelong Vikings fan. Like I started watching a little bit later on in my life. I've been a fan of this team since 2009. And that's, that was the Brett Favre year. But I can't remember a moment when something that cool that, that they waited for Darnold to get into the locker room before they started celebrating. They dumped the water on him. They lift him up. It's a thing that we haven't seen. Something that if you showed somebody that video after we drafted JJ McCarthy, nobody would believe it, right? So look, I get it. We all believe JJ McCarthy could be, I guess most people believe JJ McCarthy has everything it takes to be the guy. I understand the money implications of what extending Sam Darnold after his play could be. But just these last couple of weeks, the big hug that he got from Kevin O'Connell. Gary,
thank you, Gary.
1999.
Thank you.
You are keeping on the roll, and I appreciate the dedication to the bit. I really, really do, my man. But thank you so much for the 1999. Gary, of course, one of the OGs of GG Sports Podcast. We appreciate that. But it's just, look, so it's going to be a tough decision. I get the money implications. But you're hoping that that JJ McCarthy can be what Sam Darnold has been this year. We know what Sam Darnold is right now. And I think in this offense for sure, this is going to be the Sam Darnold we could see for the next 4 years if we decide to go that direction. Now, again, we'll have to see what happens throughout the playoffs. I 100% understand that. But I am leaning more and more towards team. You can't let this guy go. You got to find a way at least to bring him back for 2025. And if you want to give him a 2-3 year extension with some pushing money out down the road, maybe with an out after the first 2 years, you might have to do that. But I don't know, man, with the way that Darnold just keeps coming out and playing some of the best quarterback play I've seen from a Vikings quarterback in my lifetime of being a Vikings fan, to me, it is tough. It is tough to just think about letting him just walk out the door after the season's over. So again, as we all know, tough decision. We got to get through the playoffs first. But Sammy freaking Darnold, man, you've earned my respect.
Dang,
and if
I
bring him back, I have no issues with doing that. He's just phenomenal football this year.
You want to answer this while you're at it?
Smokey, isn't this the same thing? You just dropped us back a little bit ago.
Is it?
Oh, he updated it, and no head coaching interviews.
If I was the Wills, I would pull out $50 million on a raise instead of
Hey, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
I would say I'm not on that train yet completely, man. I'm at the point now, and I want to see it in playoffs. I've said it earlier in the show. I need to see it in playoffs, even though this is basically a playoff game, but it ain't. If we lost this game, we weren't out for the season. I do want to see him step up in playoffs, and I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, franchise tag him for next year. All right. The thing with me is I think Quay's, it's hard. It's so tough because he's showing up so often, and we haven't seen a quarterback do that. Since 2009, Brett Favre, really. And it's just, I think Quay's plan is so great and perfect and so well executed to the point that we're having this season that we are a year earlier than we were expecting. And this team and his plan hasn't even came to fruition yet, as far as having your quarterback on a rookie contract and being able to fill in all the holes around him. That's the biggest thing for me. Is I still to this day, even with Sam Darnold as their quarterback, depending on what the contracts look like, if we did sign him if we ended up giving him an actual extension over $40 million a year, we're going to have to probably start kicking cans down the road financially and all those type of things. But the biggest thing is, do I think right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm starting to feel confident in believing okay, are we the best team in the NFL? I can't tell you 100%. I feel that way. Do I think we have a chance to win a Super Bowl? Yes. Do I think we're the best team in the NFL? I don't know. Do we beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl if we were to make it there? I hope so. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if you sign Sam Darnold to a $40 million year contract extension, you're going to be kind of handcuffed with this is kind of what our ceiling looks like as a team, outside of banking on your young talent to Dallas Turner and those guys to eventually fill those holes for you. So that's the thing, is I think the route with JJ McCarthy, you literally could have the most talented team in the NFL. With Sam Darnold, who knows? He could be a top 5 quarterback now. I don't know. It's hard to put that up there now, but he's playing like one for sure right now. And if that's the case, you're going to have some holes on your team. And then now how's that looking in playoffs? How's that looking in the Super Bowl? Are you going to win a Super Bowl paying a left tackle, some of the highest paid in the NFL, your wide receiver, the highest paid in the NFL, the quarterback, one of the higher paid quarterbacks in the NFL? Are you going to be able to play all those and fill out the holes and literally compete against the other best teams in the NFL, compared to filling every hole on your roster and then having JJ McCarthy back there? I don't know. So, long-winded for sure, but
great problem to have, though, right? Great problem to have.
Yeah, great problem to have. But so it's going to take me a while to fully get on board with that. I know we're at the stage now where you're an idiot if you don't want Sam Darnold long-term, or if you don't want to franchise tag Sam Darnold. That's where we're at right now, which is all right. Hey, man, this guy's played his ass off and he deserves it. So if I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. But,
by the way, I don't know. You look frozen on my screen. Just letting you know that I'm not sure if you're seeing it on your
the whole time. Oh yeah, man.
At least for the last little bit here.
Here, let me refresh.
Smokey with another $9.99. This is a pivotal year in Quasi's career. How he handles negotiations with Sam or franchise tag should impact his job security. At that point, just tag Sam. I don't know if it's going to impact his job security per se, because I honestly don't think that there's a wrong answer here. If you tag him, great. If you extend him, people are going to understand why you're extending him. If you let him walk, people are going to get that too, because you really trust McCarthy. And it all does come down to, what does the coaching staff think? So it's all literally going to come down to Kevin O'Connell. Like, if he 100% believes I can get this out of JJ McCarthy, then you're most likely going to see him let Darnold walk, shake his hand, thank him for the Super Bowl, and let him go on his way, make all of his money, and move on to McCarthy. But if there's questions about whether McCarthy's going to be ready, or questions whether, injury-wise, or questions maybe whether he needs another year to sit and learn. And like I saw I think I saw Big Raylan mention, Darnold, $10 million a year, do the same thing. But that's the thing. And that's the one thing. And that's, what we went into this year with Sam Darnold as well. Like, but you hope that Danny Dimes could do half of what Darnold's done. You hope that JJ McCarthy's ceiling is maybe not his ceiling, but you're hoping that JJ McCarthy can do what Darnold's doing right now consistently on a rookie contract. I 100% understand all of that. But the proof is right here with Sam Darnold. Like, and this isn't a Kirk Cousins thing. This isn't just a guy who is effective. This is a guy who is everything that a franchise quarterback in today's NFL is what you need him to be, what he's shown us this year. Mobile, young. He's only 27 years old. He'll be 28 by the time next season starts. Mobile, confident in the pocket, big arm, can run when he needs to, but he can step up in the pocket. He has he fits Kevin O'Connell's system like a glove. He has trust in and the trust of his pass catchers, his offensive line, his running back, and just the team has fully bought into Sam Darnold. And like I said, the last 2 weeks with the locker room speeches, last week, he got the big bear hug from Kevin O'Connell. This week, he gets lifted up by his teammates, he gets the water bath, all that type of stuff. Look, I 100% understand if people are team JJ McCarthy. I get that, because I think he's going to be great as well. But it's just so hard to pass on what you're seeing from Sam Darnold this year, because I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, a coach can be a great coach, but if you're not a talented quarterback, you're not going to be able to do what Sam Darnold is doing this year. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. It's an interesting conversation. It's a good decision. It's a good problem to have. And I'm sitting here right in the, whatever we end up doing, I'm not going to be upset, because I understand both sides of it. And yes, I understand Kevin O'Connell is a huge part of it. But like I said, you still need to have the talent as a quarterback to go out there and execute a system. And Darnold has done, and obviously you drafted your quarterback after signing Sam Darnold. So even the fact that even like Diana Rossini's reporting that they want Darnold back in 2025 shows you that Kevin O'Connell is even more impressed with Darnold than he expected himself to be at this point. Again, great problem to have, though. I'm on the mindset JJ needs a little more time. We can't be so confident it's the system and not the quarterback talent. Sam has a lot of talent. That's my concern. And I think that's a great point to have if you're on the, the side of Sam Darnold is that type of thing. So again,
it's just fair, but
something we're going to be talking about literally for the rest of this season.
Yeah, I have to answer this though. I still have to answer, because all right, we won't talk about it too long. If someone can, I don't know what
I was able to hear you. You were just frozen.
Yeah. But what was the Twitter account that had the
Vikings themselves? The Vikings themselves posted
it was the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, just on that. As far as like, we haven't seen what JJ. I mean, he's 10th overall pick. We drafted him for a reason. We haven't seen anything from him yet. Yeah, we have seen things with Sam Darnold, but it has nothing to do with that. It's more about you have a rookie on a rookie contract, and you can literally have the most talented team possible around him.
Quarterback play could be suspect. We don't know.
It could, and it would be a gamble. But in my opinion, in the same, people who wanted Kirk Cousins last year would have said the same thing. Like, anyone that didn't want Kirk Cousins, the ideal was like, at least we know Kirk Cousins can play well.
But this isn't Kirk Cousins. This is everything you said you wanted in a quarterback. This is not Kirk Cousins.
I think it can definitely be compared to some extent. I think it can be compared to some extent. I'm just saying it's the same. It's a similar concept. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit more difficult of situation this time, but you have to if we want to win a Super Bowl, like sometimes you might have to gamble. And
but signing Darnold could be a gamble as well.
Signing gamble and not signing him is a gamble, and signing him could be the gamble. That's what I'm saying. Like, signing him could be more of a gamble than people think, because unless you think Sam Darnold's going to be the next Mahomes, we're going to be strapped with cash, and you're hoping this dude can bring you to a Super Bowl instead of having JJ McCarthy is going to have like, who knows about JJ McCarthy? Yeah, you don't know for sure. He could just completely suck and ruin everything. You don't know for sure if it's just the system or if it's Sam Darnold. You don't know all these different things. But one thing I know is Kwesi had a plan, and we're seeing it flourish early. And obviously, a lot of that has to do with Sam Darnold. But the whole plan of that's why you went and paid Justin Jefferson the money he wanted. That's why you go pay your left tackle, was because of this plan. And it's hard to get away from a quarterback like Sam Darnold, but I really love that plan. And
I mean, hey, yesterday I had a plan to go get a pizza. I went to McDonald's instead. Plans change. George,
enough of that, though. Enough of that. We'll see how it all goes.
Thanks for the $5. We'll have a lot of time to talk about it as well.
I didn't want Kirk Cousins to be more. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people did feel our chat is not a Kirk Cousins community really, but there's a lot of people who said the same thing of Kirk. Why would you let Kirk Cousins go? Because you have to pay he's good or whatever. But it's a similar situation. I feel better about Sam Darnold. If we were to do that with Sam Darnold, I 100% would feel better about him than Kirk Cousins. But it's still like that concept where you're going to be strapped with money because you have you're paying not just your quarterback, but you're paying a wide receiver, you're paying your left tackle, you're going to have to pay corner. We're going to have no cornerbacks going into this offseason. No corners. We have problems on the defensive interior and the offensive interior.
Rob Brzezinski is a genius and would figure it out. And plus, we had 35 million worth of quarterback cap hit this year, and we still found a way to get it done. They would figure it if they decide to go the extend Darnold for a longer deal route, they would figure it out, and the window would still be 4 to 5 years for this team, and potentially more down the road depending on how.
But you'd be kicking the can. You'd be making some sacrifices in the future financially,
but not as bad as
just will. I don't know, man. I haven't seen a lot of teams who have all three of those guys paid. Like three of the most highest paid positions paid out at the top of their positions. I don't know. The cap is a myth. As far as the cap is a myth to the extent of you can the cap of the myth, or the cap is a myth was Spielman's. That's his whole thing. The cap is a myth. And look what we had to get out of cap hell, because the cap is a myth is kicking.
It wasn't necessarily. It wasn't even really cap hell though, because we still were able to put a competitive roster on the field.
A competitive roster, not the best roster.
This isn't the best.
Who's going to win a Super Bowl?
14-2.
Yeah. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Competitive or the best? Do we want to be competitive? We're competitive with Kirk Cousins. I don't want to be. We're going to be competitive. We'll see. I could eat my words here. But I'm hoping the Vikings I'm hoping we can win the Super Bowl. But most this year feels we're trying to be competitive more than we're that Super Bowl team, right? And I don't see that changing significantly unless Sam Darnold ends up literally just being a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, which, hey, he could be. He hasn't really proven not.
I don't know. But again, great problem to have at the end of the day. And and we have the biggest game of our lifetimes next week. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for the rest of the season. But anyway, we have more studs and duds. We've already been on 48 minutes. The quarterback talk will happen throughout the rest of the season and the off season, depending on how far we make it in the playoffs. It's all going to be fun. It's all going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, Sam Darnold, who knows? He might not be the quarterback he is without our next studs here, and that would be the pass catchers, and as you put on there, including the running backs as well. And one I did want to highlight before we get into all the rest, after, of course, we read Smokey's dono here for another $19.99.
Appreciate you, Smokey.
Mahomes, Tyreek, and Travis were highly paid for the position and won a championship. See, but I think the Vikings need to focus on the ship, but I understand Jamie's hesitation for money for the future. He makes a great point. And also, I don't love the whole tossing the Mahomes name in there, because Mahomes is just different. And Darnold is playing way better ball than we ever could have expected. But I don't love the having to compare how the Chiefs did things, because Mahomes is just a totally different echelon. But obviously, receivers, we went through the stats earlier. All of them play well. But one person I did want to highlight is the guy that's on here, and that is Jalen Naylor. Started off the season hot. We kind of dogged on him for a lot of the drop passes midway through the season. But when you needed him the most, when Jefferson was getting bracket coverage, Jalen Nailor stepped up. He made big catches, including one that Darnold did overthrow a little bit. He had to jump up, get it, hold it in for the first down. Just great to see Jalen Nailor bounce back and have a game like this, 5 for 81 for 1 touchdown. Absolutely huge on Jalen Nailor. That's the one guy I wanted to shout out before we get deeper into this pass catcher spot here. And I guess Cam Akers. Again, Kevin O'Connell did point out all the things that Akers have gone through in his career, 2 Achilles tears, and coming up big when we needed him. Big run in the first half, scoring the touchdown in the fourth or third quarter there. And then, of course, the game-sealing catch that wasn't the best throw by Darnold, but he was able to reel it in. So huge stuff by the pass catchers in this game. Love to see it going into the playoffs, and now everyone feels like they're starting to click in this offense.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, starting with Nailor, I mean, biggest game he's had in his career. I wanted to just look at these stats again real quick. Give me a second here. I had to restart everything because I had to restart my computer.
So hashtag Skol need to go back in the comments, I assume.
Yeah. I don't even. Yeah. Speaking of that, giving away the JJ McCarthy, my future quarterback. So get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. The big thing here, though, for me is just, 92 yards from Justin Jefferson, 81 yards from Nailor, 69 from Addison, including some insane. And if that ball was a little bit thrown like a foot further, he would have had 2 touchdowns. Really close. 68 yards from TJ Hawkinson, 4 receptions for 30 from Aaron Jones, and then 2 catches for 15 from Cam Akers. 1 was for a touchdown. One was for obviously the game-winning catch. And then CJ Ham, even 2 for 15, also a really big catch from him as well. So the pass catchers overall, it was like the best overall game you could ask from like every single person on your team to catch balls in big situations. Even Johnny Munt, he had 1 for 7. That was a first down, of course, because it's what Johnny Munt does. But man, big there. Hey, Smokey, dude, you are going crazy, bro. Yeah. Cam Akers has been great with KOC, not fighting with him like he did with McVay. By saying his wife was hot. Cam got by McVay for hitting on his wife. This happens, source, trust me, in Bleacher Report. Yeah. I don't know. Kevin O'Connell was cool with it. He just brought him right over twice.
Yeah.
Even though
I said I was the one that said McVay's wife was hot, not Cam Akers.
Cam can actually thrive with KOC, not McVay, who has been productive season from who he had a productive season from Jamie Casey. LOL, his wife is bad. Is doing with Munner lines with Smokey. What the fuck is that's funny. Hey, Smokey's, you gotta clean it somehow.
Smokey is a supporter. We're all support. You guys are all supporters of the channel, but Smokey's dropping those dimes, man. dropping more dimes than Sammy Darnold.
Hey, what's going on, Abel? If the punt is made to Steelers, yeah, take some. But my Vikings said no. If the punt is made to Steelers, thrown off a little bit by that one, Abel. Appreciate you jumping in. To argue about 2 quarterbacks is good. Yeah,
that's the big thing. It's like this.
It's going to be a big thing no matter what, man.
And the thing is, like, and it's not like the last quarterback argument that we had. This one is like people think both are good. It's just different directions of how the franchise is going to take this because they are 2
right. That's literally what it is.
And both quarterbacks are good options for this team. And that's the great thing about it. Like, it's going to get hostile, of course, but it's like, it's a good argument and a good problem to have. Not like the last one.
This is different than the Kirk Cousins one.
It's very different.
As far as that.
Yep. Absolutely.
But keeping on going here, the pass catchers were great. Obviously, we spent a lot of time on the Sam Darnold stuff. This one, who's been pretty much on the opposite side of the list almost every single week on our show, started off a little bit rough in the first couple of drives, I thought, but really stepped up to probably have the best blocking game of this season and giving Sam Darnold tons of time in this one. For definitely the stretch of this game. What is your thoughts on the O-line in this one?
Yeah, like you said, I think that kind of just sums it up. Like, Darnold only sacked 1 time. Had plenty of time, was able to step up into the pocket, make some throws. There was some big holes in the run game at times as well. And speaking of just O-line and blocking, we talk about Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is becoming just a complete receiver. Some of those blocks he had yesterday in the run game and on some of those screens were absolutely impressive by Addison. Love to see, for a smaller guy, love just to see him take on that full role of a wide receiver. But overall, blocking in this game was, like you said, probably some of the best we've seen this year.
Yeah, dude, fantastic. And this is just funny. Let's just let Sam and McCarthy fight to the death, like Too Evil said. I don't know, man. I mean, Sam Darnold's like, he's filled up, JJ McCarthy is still 21 and young and injured.
And injured on a hobbled knee.
And injured. Oh, one thing I wanted to say.
Injured Jesus, Sam Darnold will win.
One thing I wanted to say about Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins that I thought was really funny is just last year with Kirk Cousins, it was all about the Creed thing. And the funny thing is just the difference with Sam Darnold and it's Mini-Man and 50 Cent. Just like completely different type of vibes right there. But hey, the 50 Cent vibe, that one's carrying. If Darnell McCarthy fought, there would be 2 hits. First, Darnell McCarthy, and second, McCarthy hitting the ground. Dang.
For anyone in the chat that doesn't know, if you're newer here, Too Evil is not a fan of McCarthy in the draft process. So this isn't something new. This is long-term storytelling.
Yeah, this Too Evil being Too Evil, man.
Yeah,
and that's our guy.
Yeah, Bradbury. Yeah, Bradbury. I think he didn't get out there on a block in a run game, but yeah.
JJ tougher than Darnold. We'll get into that. We got plenty of time to talk about JJ McCarthy versus Sam Darnold boxing matches.
Nick Riley,
Nick Riley. Appreciate you,
beat
brother.
St. Brown's ass, so I can only imagine how our players fan man was talking that bullshit on his podcast. Yeah. It's gonna be such a fun game. It'll be such a fun game.
JJ wins that battle for sure. I'll take Jordan Addison over him.
Got a role to play. Hey, you stick to the bit, man. I love it. Whether or not it's a bit, I don't know, but.
All right, keep on going here. Again, everybody, giving away the giving away the JJ McCarthy Gridiron. What is it? Gridiron Kings. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. I would get some Sam Darnold's, but all his rookie cards are Jets, so that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get into the Skol Gauntlet here. If anybody doesn't know, we go through each one of these topics. We each get 30 seconds to answer these. And yeah, Casey, let me know when you're ready to rock on this.
All right, let's roll.
Get those hashtag Skols in. Let's go. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Let's keep my love rolling here. My game ball goes to Sam Darnold. 33 of 43 of 43, 377, which is a career high, puts him over 4,000 yards passing for the season. 3 touchdowns, the 1 interception. Outside of 4 throws, this was, again, one of the best games Sam Darnold has played this year. Like I said afterwards, just the love that he got from his teammates for his performance this year, it's unmatched. And even if you're a JJ McCarthy fan, you can't sit here and tell me that you're not impressed and super pumped with what Sam Darnold's put out on the field this year. This game was one of his best outside of 4 throws. Love what Sam Darnold did last night.
Yeah, and anything I say about this JJ is like everyone else is saying, it's a good problem to have. I really like what we're seeing from Sam Darnold specifically, and he does deserve the game ball here, even though he has that 1 interception. But I'm gonna have to give it to the boy Jalen Naylor in this one. I mean, I said Jordan Addison was going to be the X factor in this game because of Aaron Jones, TJ Hawkinson, and Justin Jefferson. But because of them 3 and Jordan Addison, it opened up for Naylor, and he took advantage of it and didn't drop a single pass, which is the real winner here.
Absolutely. Biggest loser. Hate to do this, but I got to give it to our kicker, Will the Thrill Reichard. Again, is he still hurt? I don't know. But the 2 missed field goals could have been 3 if we didn't get the offsides call on the Packers. Kicking the kickoff short of the landing zone. Just, it was an ugly game from Riker. Now, we've seen him bounce back from these before. You hope he's healthy, and this was just a bad game. I trust him to bounce back, but not his best showing.
I mean, we're going to have to get into Reichard again. So it was Reichard in this one, but I'm going to give the game ending soft defense that we play when it's like time to just finish this game. Like, let's not let them get back in there. And we play soft. We played soft for 2 drives in a row. Let them come back in a game that we should have absolutely dominated and only won by 2. So that's going to be my biggest loser. It's just that late game defense.
Yeah. And I didn't even see we were still talking about Will Reichard here. So I will take a part of my time to jump out here and shout out Nick Riley's comment. My game ball goes to Byron Murphy. He was fantastic. Byron Murphy, since the beginning of the season, probably since the first Packers game, has been playing like easily our best corner. Give this man an extension. I don't even care. What Will Reichard concerns, yes, you're a little bit concerned, but like I said in my Biggest Loser category, I do fully expect him to bounce back from this if he's 100% healthy.
And I mean, I do as well. Obviously, the only way it's not is if he is still injured, and that's a problem. I mean, he's made his kicks up to this point. He only missed that first one after coming back, and everything else he's been hitting. So I don't know if I'm convinced that it was that, or if he was just having an off day. I mean, yes, you need to make it's black and white. If you either make it or you don't. But some of his misses were extremely close. So I think overall he's going to be all right.
Yeah. Sam MVP. So look, obviously we all know the MVP race is going to come down to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I get that. Joe Burrow's name should be and definitely would be up there if they were, sure, they're still fighting for their playoff lives. They have a pretty low % chance. They need to win and have some other people make it. And obviously Saquon Barkley is going to be kind of the dark horse there. He's not going to win and he'll get Offensive Player of the Year. But even now he should be, but if the Vikings win on Sunday, Sam Darnold at least needs to be in the conversation for NFL MVP. He's not going to win it, but he needs to be talked about.
Yeah. He should definitely be in the conversation. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because the reality is Sam Darnold does have a lot of players around him. Unlike it's different than compared to Josh Allen in Buffalo, where they did get Amari Cooper, but he doesn't have a lot of talented wide receivers like we do. But well, first off, Sam can't get comeback player of the year, which is kind of lame. But to come in here, be a bust prior, we're projected 6.5 wins, and now we're 14-2. A lot of it because of him. He definitely deserves some consideration.
Now, if someone had told you coming into the season that we would be going to Detroit, final game of the NFL regular season of 2024/2025, with a chance to steal the division and the 1 seed and the bye week from the Detroit Lions, nobody would have believed you. This is all I wanted us to win. This Packers game. This is all I wanted to get to. This is going to be such a fun week. I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be exciting.
Dude, we've already mentioned it before. The greatest, potentially the greatest, or at least the biggest regular season game in NFL history. And I'm just super excited. Like you said, like Kevin O'Connell said, we have to go 1-0 before we can go 2-0 against the Lions. But us Viking fans, if there's one thing we wanted, it was this game. And it seemed out of reach like 5 games ago or whatever, but it's here. And man, we get playoffs early. I'm pumped.
Early predictions. It's going to be a tough one, man. I've been going back and forth. I actually told myself last night when I was laying in bed, reveling over this win, that I said I was thinking to myself, we might lose this game, right? But at the end of the day, I really don't care because I wanted to get here. We're here. We have an opportunity. It's going to be so much fun. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to come down to which defense can make the most plays. And if this defense plays the way it did in the first 3.5 quarters of this Packer game, we have a great shot.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's really going to be defense versus defense, I think, because they're going to have a tough offense no matter what, but I'm feeling pretty strongly I don't put their offense much better than ours, especially with the chemistry Sam Darnold has created with these other wide receivers, especially that he's created chemistry with Jalen Naylor now. So I'm going to break even on offenses at this point in the season, and I'm going to take our defense all day over their depleted one. So, hey, Vikings taking this one.
Yeah, absolutely. We do got another $9.99 from Smokey. Sam Darnold has a lot of numbers better than Josh. Josh has more rushing touchdowns and talent. First things first, went over Sam, has more yards per game. Sam has a case and many more stats. Absolutely. Again, he needs to be at least talked about as it comes to the MVP conversation.
Absolutely.
Again, I think he's going to win it, but absolutely.
It's too late. They're not going to pick him no matter what, but he should have been in the discussion throughout the whole year.
Yeah. And Dan, and it doesn't matter because no matter what, whoever wins our game, there's no chance for Philadelphia to have the 1 seed.
Yeah, because
since they would be the division champs, the tiebreaker wouldn't necessarily matter.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Maybe that needs to change. Like basketball, they don't do that, right? No, you're seeded.
But there has to be some. I don't think that the rules should change. If you want to have a home game, win your division. That's what it all comes down to. You got to win the division first off.
You do play them twice a year.
There'd be no benefit to it. So I don't like the NBA seeding, especially in the NFL. I think you got to win your division first. That's the goal.
Yeah, makes sense. Does suck though that you're either 1 seed or you're 5th seed. Yeah. But luckily, it sucks for the Lions.
Yeah, having to drop from having the 1 seed since they beat us.
Sucks for the Lions, not us. That's their problem. Maybe they should want to change the rules, not us. But yeah, we did it, everybody. Gonna give away this card soon, so get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. All that good stuff here. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we're gonna be here on Thursday. I did see Kinetic talked about us doing a show during the actual game. Probably not. The thing is that's one thing about doing, like, my favorite, like, one of the main reasons to even do a podcast about the Vikings is just because it's based around, like, my favorite thing to do, which is watching the game. And it's just so hard for me to, I don't even like, I like to go to games, but half the time I'd rather be sitting by myself unless I'm with somebody that's also as big of a Viking fan as I am. And just because it's hard to pay enough attention and really take the game in for me. So we don't really do a lot of, like, during the game stuff, just because that's kind of like the reason why we're even in this,
Yeah, absolutely.
So looking at the 5th seed, if we lose, we would play Tampa, and Tampa's dangerous. Oh, we're taking them down easy. I ain't scared of them.
Wouldn't that be a fun matchup, though? Sam Darnold versus Baker Mayfield. 2018 top 3 drafted quarterbacks who are on new teams and absolutely killing it now. While the Jets have Aaron freaking Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things, and the Browns have Deshaun Watson on one of the worst contracts I've ever seen. Oh goodness,
that is super funny, actually. And that's one thing is, it was crazy. Even the idea that Sam Darnold could be a Baker Mayfield for this year was kind of crazy. But now it's like, I don't know. I feel like Sam Darnold's like hold my beer moment.
Yeah. Tonight's game is absolutely meaningless for Detroit. So no matter what, it's us or Detroit with the 1 seed. Philly Philly's locked into the 2.
Smokey, you got to come to Skol Fest next year. I don't know. I mean, I believe you've been in here when we've talked about.
It will literally be planned as soon as this schedule comes out.
Not even. We're gonna have it planned as far as, like, getting it rolling, because this Skol Fest is gonna be. This is gonna be the biggest.
You will know the weekend to come as soon as the schedule comes out, because you can't plan it until the schedule comes out, Jamie.
I can plan whatever I want. But no, for real, Smokey, definitely come. Home opener. That's all you need to know. Home opener. We help throw a big Vikings event that we're hoping to get bigger and bigger. And obviously, I mean, we got a lot of, Two-Tone was there last year. Of course, Gary's been there every single year. Two Evil's there every single year. Our guy Skol Mafia is there every single year. What's up, Richard, by the way? We got some people in here that are always there. So this year is going to be big. That's the place to go. Yeah, I don't know where Steve is.
Yeah. Absolutely, Dan. We are winning. We are winning next week. I was feeling unconfident last night, but now I don't know, man. I'm so excited for this game.
I'm not really feeling. I just feel like, I don't know. We should have won the first game against them. I think we should have won. If we would have played with some balls, we probably win that game.
Well, we tried. That last play was a pass, and Darnold just missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we ran it twice.
The wrong route. Yeah, but you had a shot to take it. You had a shot to take it.
Yeah, but you played too wuss. You're running twice in a row. You're Kevin O'Connell. You barely run at all. So anytime Kevin O'Connell runs twice in a row, he's pulling off the gas. And then that one we did pull off the gas, and Dan Campbell did not pull off off the gas. Yes, let's go. We're getting everybody this, dude. It's gonna be sick this year. I'm feeling good about school. We're starting and planning and everything like way earlier than we have before. But so that's the reason. So I do think ultimately, I think we could had an opportunity to win that game, and they had all of their players healthy other than Aiden Hutchinson, who's still not back. So I don't know. I just feel like I wasn't really afraid of their defense before, and now I'm definitely less afraid of it. And I do think I do think we definitely can win. Of course, it's going to be a hard game, and we could lose this one as well. But I feel confident that we can definitely win this one. Hopefully, I'm also being. I'm
feeling confident we can win this one.
Hopefully, maybe not. Maybe Casey's right. We're going to lose. Maybe Gary's right. No, I'm feeling good. Yeah. I'm feeling good. Hit your drink and smoke on with us. Biggest regular season game in NFL history. Let's get it.
How many times do I gotta say get rid of the toss? The pitch play, man. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating.
the pitch. It was nice. Or what was that play? It was nice. Who was it? We had a pitch play to the right side, and we got a big gain from it, and then we went pitch to the left, and then it got stopped immediately. Was that the one with? It might have been with Ty Chandler.
Maybe I forget. But we did have two really successful running back screen type plays yesterday, though. So that was nice to see.
KOC runs on every first down. I don't think he does. I mean, including the Jordan Addison touchdown.
Yeah.
He's been, I would argue that he's just been throwing like a lot, probably too much compared to running. He probably needs to run more. And that's saying kind of a lot for me, but not when we need, like, if we're in a position, like, just go win a game. That's all I want. Like, I don't care, run, pass, whatever. Just like go win the game like you're behind. Because, man, when we're behind, we're like the best. We play as the best team in the NFL when we're behind for whatever reason.
Smokey, you're too kind. KOC will get his play calling together, running it too much with an older back. Expect to see Cam get more carries. See, yeah, but I also think once it gets to the end of the stretch run here, like, I think it's gonna be a majority Aaron Jones because he is the more explosive player out of the two. But we'll see. Yeah, absolutely. And Kevin O'Connell, I mean, I don't even think he's that predictable. I mean, there's certain drives where he's kind of predictable, but I don't know, man. I think
he's getting better. This last game was really good.
Yeah, I think this last like month or so, he's just been calling some of the best games I've seen him call.
This one specific, like, I mean, is pretty constant. Not a lot of running, but until towards the end. But again, everybody, about to give away the card. JJ McCarthy, Gridiron Kings. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. I'm about to pick these up. Thank goodness they weren't any trick plays that I remember. Yeah, I don't think there was any trick plays.
Nope.
Who?
Yeah, no. Yeah, those are always something.
Yeah, like who was the Falcons yesterday having
Bijan Robinson.
They ended up scoring anyways, but having I mean, what a moment to freaking have to. And someone said it right. Like, what is the benefit to having your running back take a direct snap as far as like you're like it's a run for sure at that. It works. It does work sometimes. I do see it work.
Yeah,
but
it was dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. It was dumb. Yeah,
not great.
About a 20-yard loss,
especially when your rookie quarterback had actually been throwing the ball pretty well.
He stepped up big. I don't know if I was feeling confident. He was missing some throws though too. I mean, that dude's got a missile. And if he can get that ball down, and this is what we talked about him, like he needs to just make sure that it's a sniper. But sometimes that sniper can go too high.
Yep.
Now that kid could be a stud. Adam winning card to ensure 49ers win tonight. I mean, yeah, let's just like I want the Lions to lose 2 in a row here. That'd be great. All right, let's start drawing names. 3, 2, 1, boom. If I win this card, did you give it to Nick? At least he'll be happy. Boom! Bob Swede. Bob, you here?
About a minute ago, so I assume he's probably.
I mean, you're literally.
I'll be on the lookout.
Okay, let's keep on rolling here. Two-toned. Oh, he's in. He's the last comment. All right, keeping on rolling. Do we hear from Bob yet?
We have not. Bob, where are you?
Scoliosis. I didn't even see a scoliosis in here. Scoliosis, are you in here? Let us know. We got to keep rolling. It's probably
Bob Sweet. Bob is here. Sweet's here.
All right.
Scoliosis is here. All right. Now we're rolling.
Scoliosis, let's go. Hey, we got a new one in here. Scoliosis too. I like the name. All right.
Well, Skol for life. Thank you for joining us, my man. How have you been? Thank you so much for hopping in.
Scoliosis. Only rules, you got to like and subscribe.
Two-toned is here.
Skol for life. That's crazy.
In at the very end. Oh, that's fun. That's awesome.
Dang, that's crazy.
Snipe. You want to talk about an actual snipe.
That's crazy. All right. Keep on rolling here. Last one. Boom. Hey, appreciate you, brother. And we've got Nick. Oh, he doesn't even need the free one.
All right. Is that everybody then? It's all 5?
Yep. I'm bringing it up right now. Boom. Here's the name. Swede, two-tone, scoliosis, Skol for life, and Nick Riley. The Giving Goblin, Skol for life. That's crazy. All right. 45 seconds. Set. I mean, what do we do 14. Here? 14? 14, and we'll see how it feels.
If you don't like it, then we got to do 15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ooh, even got a Viking in there.
Okay, we got it.
We even got a Viking in there.
We got a Viking, we got Pink Duck, we got a Clown, we got Bat Duck.
I don't even let anybody. If Unicorn's up there, we automatically shuffle. All right, let's get it. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Swede taking the early lead with two-tone in second. Batman Duck. Scoliosis with the Mermaid Duck. Nick with the Pink Duck. And then Skol for life, the Clown Duck. Man, our two-tones on the head. The last one we did, whoever started first, who I think was Barber, ended up finishing. Started first and then finished first, which you don't see a lot. Everybody's coming back here right now, though. Let's see what happens here. Someone's going to bounce off. Who is it? Two-tones bouncing off. Nick's bouncing off. Scoliosis is just chilling.
Ooh, this is a...
It's two-tone.
Batman for the win.
Oh, two-tone. It's been a while, I think. Let's go. Batman Duck for the win. Let's get it.
All right. So two-tone, I believe we still have all your info.
Yeah, we have your stuff for sure.
Yeah. Anything else before we hop off here? I mean, 14-2, beating the Packers. Big matchup next week, which we'll be here on Thursday to talk about. I mean,
it gets real, man.
It does not get much better than that.
Real. Yep, Thursday is going to be crazy, man. The rest of this season, it's about to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Bring that back, crazy.
Excuse me. Keep it up. Keep that energy, Gary.
Keep that energy, Gary.
We need that energy from you.
Yep.
But yeah, if nothing else, thank you guys so much for joining. If anybody, especially you, Smokey, especially everybody who did, if any of you guys dropped some super chats, we really do appreciate you. Anybody else?
Dude, you guys hooked it up big time tonight.
Appreciate you guys as well. Plus, it looks like we did pick up 3 new subscribers tonight. If you are one of those 3 new subscribers, thank you so much. Tell your friends. Let's get that sub count up. We want 1,500 before, which is only 22 more, which I think we can do. 1,500 before this Vikings playoff run is over. I think we can get there. So if you guys could help us with that, that'd be awesome. But thank you guys so much. We will see you here on Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time, to talk about the biggest game in NFL history. It's going to be fun.
Go Vikes.